Welcome to At the Table with Chef Jay, the podcast where we believe that every meal has a story and every story has a seat at the table. I'm your host, Chef Jay, and today we're embarked on a culinary journey through the heartwarming realm of cherished memories and delectable dishes. In each episode, we dive into the nostalgic world of our guests' favorite childhood foods, from the confident aroma of Grandma's kitchen to the sizzle of a beloved family recipe. We're here to unravel the tales behind the tastes that linger in our hearts. Today's guest is Columbia-based entrepreneur, veteran, and candidate for South Carolina's 2nd Congressional District, David Robinson, too. The second, rather. He'll be preparing one of his favorite dishes, and sound like mine too, Mom's homemade cheeseburger. Could you tell us the story behind this dish?
Yes, thank you. First, I'm really happy to be here. Yes, my mother, being a single parent, we didn't have much in our home, so a lot of times when we have dinner, we have dinner. And but the times we don't, she had to pull things together what she can. We didn't have the luxury of going to like restaurants every day, eating at McDonald's and things like that. So my mother did her best in providing certain things that would help us, to enjoy some of those things like cheeseburgers. One of my favorite meals that she decides to do some days, instead of eating hash and rice or some of the other things that we eat around the house, but just the burgers itself, the cheeseburgers, something that for me is a bit memory. And I just wait till those days to say, hey, we're going to have cheeseburgers tonight. So.
Well, I love it. I tell you, I love good cheeseburger. Believe it or not, I don't like eating cheeseburgers out. I like homemade cheeseburgers. So this is really dear and near to my heart.
That's right.
And this dish is also special because, being a single mom, they made things come together. And they made it delicious.
That's right.
And so I'm just honored to have you on At the Table with Chef Jay. And so show us how you prepare the dish, what you put in it, and then we're going to just enjoy that cheeseburger.
Sounds good. Thank you. I first say give honor to God, and I thank my mother for helping me do this, and I paid attention to her, so I hope to make her proud. But the first thing my mother does is she has a one pound of ground beef, 1 or 2 pounds, depending on how many burgers you want to make. So we have certain ingredients. Like the one thing that sticks out the most and always been in my mind is the Lipton. The Lipton soup mitts. So it's the original Lipton soup mitts and soup and dip mitts. But she put this in the burger. So we add this into the burger itself. This is our ground beef here. So I'll put the ground beef here and this set for you. And so with our ground beef, she's also adding, like I said, the Lipton soup mitts, and that's the whole thing, so the whole packet. So they come in packets. Mm-hmm. Get that in there really good.
That just builds up on the flavor right there.
It does. It does because
that's better than in the burger spot. Okay.
It does, and it trust me, it's very good. Yeah. Also, you have a tablespoon of seasoned salt. Not much because we have a lot of high blood pressure in our family. So my mother, she's very careful with that. So you just sprinkle just a little. Don't get too heavy-handed because you don't need much because of the soup itself. Also, you just need a couple of pinches of pepper.
Mm-hmm. Always give that flavor pepper.
Yes. And also, lastly, I want to make sure that I want to show you that we have to have that bell pepper and also the chopped onions. So you have not that much onions, but you put a good bit in there. This amount, whatever your heart desires. Some people like to use pepper, onions, and some people don't. So we do in our family. So we definitely put those in there. We want a lot of onions there. Also, we have the bell pepper. That's going to go in there too, believe it or not. Some people say, you have bell pepper in your cheeseburger? Yes, we do. So my mother, she cuts them up in small chunks.
Okay.
Let's see here.
I reckon I got a good knife. Oh, perfect.
Yes.
My knife's dull, so I got a guy that's going to sharpen them all up.
Yes,
but
I got
good. You. Okay.
Yes, thanks so much.
I'm so glad you came and shared these cheeseburgers.
Yeah, yes.
It is something that most people really, really enjoy and love,
That's right.
How many kids did your mom have?
Well, just me and my sister, just the two. My sister and I like to call ourselves two of a kind because our birthday, we shared a birthday. Well, not actually the birthday itself, but we're the same age one time a year for a few days before my birthday come up. And then, of course, I'm back older than her again, so I'm the oldest.
Okay.
But yes, so just two of us in the household. But, just being a mother, she definitely had to make sure she's looking out for us to make sure she providing for us. So again, what we do is we chopping up this bell pepper. You just get some slices here and there. It don't take much at all. So I'm not the best on chopping it. So my mother watched and say, "Hey, son, you don't chop it that way. You do it this way."
Oh, that's right.
So, but you know what?
They was good at giving instructions. And,
They
was
very much so.
about all of it, you know?
You know, it's funny because my mother used to cook and she would tell my sister to come in the kitchen. And my sister was like, "No, I don't want to learn." Well, what you gonna do when you get older? I'm gonna eat out all the time, you know. And I was the one very curious because I was greedy. You know, I like to eat
right.
and
That was
growing
cute.
boy. So yes, you know, I'm gonna watch her to the end and see what she does. And really, in my mind, I'm waiting till the food is done so I can have a piece of that. So.
I love that.
So what we're doing is chopping up the bell peppers, the green bell peppers. You have to have that in there. That's one of the things that she definitely have, and that's what my memory is of that burger. When I see that green peppers hanging out that burger and things like that, that means a lot. So you get that in there.
And then it's fresh, you know what I'm saying?
Very
that
much
pepper
fresh.
and onions just give it that, you know, that
That's right.
look and that smell and that flavor, you know.
That's right.
Like I talk a lot of time about, you know, dishes, a lot of time they come bland.
That's right.
But where the seasoning come in
Mhm.
is where it gives us that flavor, that loveness, and that, you know, just that was enjoyable.
That's right. Oh yes, yes, it pops that taste bud.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is we're going to mix all of that together. All of that's going to go together. So you get in there, you have to dig it in there, and you got to mix it around really good there. Make sure you get all of that, the bell peppers. You have to get all the onions in there. You have to mix that that Lipton soup mix in there really good.
How did y'all enjoy those burgers, though?
Oh man, I can taste it now.
Oh my goodness. So was it like a weekly, every?
Well, we get it, like I said, it's more like a treat for us and our family because, you know, like I said, we grew up in a home that, you know, we didn't have much at all. So my mom had to spread as much as she can, the joy that she, you know, for us as children.
Yeah.
And so those are the special moments. It wasn't just the hamburgers. Sometimes she make it breakfast night. We have grits and eggs and everything at night. So, you know, it's a combination, but like I said, it's only certain ones is my super favorites that she prepares. So once you get that mixed in really good, you start breaking it off into little balls,
Okay.
and you get them all flattened out really good there.
That is so awesome. I love it.
Yes,
I just love the resilience of our people.
that's
How they
right.
made it happen and they made it work. You know what I'm saying?
That's
They
right.
complained, just did their job, did what they're supposed to do, and being great parents, you know?
That's right.
And I honor them and I appreciate them. That was a part of At the Table Chef Jay was about bringing those memories and keeping those alive
That's right.
from our ancestors, you know?
And see that right there? You have that burger is, you know, better than a McDonald's burger in my
that is
opinion.
definitely so. I tell you, I love
So
it.
what I do is with the butter here,
Okay.
I circle around the pan here, and that kind of helps it from sticking. So that's what you need, one stick of butter
Okay.
for, part of the ingredients, just to get that pan really, greased down a little bit. And as you're making these burgers, you start sitting them in the pan, and you start hearing it cook.
You got that, I'm telling you.
Oh yes,
I love it. I love it.
yes,
And especially that butter, I think that's a great idea too.
that's right. You see those onions in there? See those onions in there? Oh yes, that's what I remember. I remember them
love
sticking out there just like that, and she make these patties and get them on there. So you can just make as many as you can.
Right.
When I was a child, I look at those patties and I said, "Boy, they're huge." You know, this looks really big to me. And I was just talking to a friend of mine today about this, and I said, "You know what? I remember those peppers sticking out, and they looked like they was giants. You know, big peppers." So again, while that is going on, of course you let those cook until they get done on both sides. So you keep there for a good about 3 to 4 minutes on one side, and then flip it over
Okay.
and start cooking the other side as well.
I love it. Okay, so I want you to show us how you put it together for us.
Yes,
I'm gonna switch over everything right here. And don't get y'all remember the sliced cheese.
that's right. And it's
There's nothing like that, you know?
and the sliced cheese is going to go along with once the meat is done on both sides.
Okay.
That's when you put the cheese on. You put cheese on so the heat can naturally melt that cheese on there, and then we'll move it over to the cool side.
Okay, so I want you to put one together for us, show how she put that together.
Yes,
By those cooks.
right.
Mm-hmm.
This is the finished product when the cheese is melted from the pan over to the burger. So when we're putting everything together here, we have All right.
You want to do the mayo first or mustard first?
Yes, it's going to be mayo mustard. We're doing that first. Go put that on.
Tomato, second, and third, which one?
And the lettuce, tomatoes, going to go in that order. Lettuce, tomatoes, and then the pickles. It's going to go in that order.
Show us how to put that together.
Yes. And what we're doing is we're going to take the mayo. And just have not much mayo. You can take the mayo and it depends on everybody's taste. I only say mayo because when my mom asks, that's what I want on mine. So
what
we're gonna go
did she
there.
pair that with when y'all had hamburgers? What is it y'all had?
It always with fries. You know, I'm not skilled with the way she made these fries. I don't really call them fries. I call them wedges. Because she cuts them herself. She makes those fresh, and it still has the skin on it and things like that, and it's very
Come
good.
back and share that with us today.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will. So what we'll do next time is we'll make the full meal, the whole combination of what she does with their burgers, because you can't have the burger without fries. So that's what she would say.
Right. So David is wonderful, guys, because he is one of my best friend, childhood friends.
Yes.
Significant other. So
That's
I just
right.
thank you for joining us. She came in. I think she was one of my first guests. She did the red velvet cake.
That's right.
Miss Gwen.
And everybody loved that red velvet
that
cake.
red velvet
Oh
cake
my
is good.
gosh.
And
Yes.
what was so different, unique about it is that she put the pecans inside of the icing.
That's
I
right.
love that.
That's right.
So she can finish putting. I didn't even get
Yes.
sidetracked.
Oh no, because
That's my
I tell you, we can talk about that red velvet
Yeah.
cake. I tell you what, I'm thinking about it right now. I might go ask her to make one tonight.
I know.
So we go over the lettuce.
Okay.
You know, I like to put a little extra on there. I found all the pretty pieces and make it look really nice. We're gonna get that lettuce on there.
I love how meticulous David is, guys. He is doing an amazing job. Everything looks so good. He takes his time to do it, and that's what kind of cook I like. I like somebody that really
Yes.
show that love.
That's right. That's right. Well, this is my mother's burger, so I have to make sure I'm getting it right.
Right. I love,
Yeah,
well, you're doing an
Been
amazing
very
job.
thoughtful. Yes.
And Mom, I can't wait till you see it, okay?
That's
You
right.
did a good job.
All right. All right. And also, well, we're waiting on the burger and the cheese.
Okay.
Well, yes, there we go. And it'll be the finished product, like I said, with the cheese on it.
Look at that burger, guys.
You bring that to the bottom.
Where you put your mustard at?
And that's the thing. If you want, it depends on, and I didn't add the mustard, but you do have the option of putting the mustard. I'm just that person that just want the mayo.
Okay. I
but
love it. My husband like that too. He likes
yes,
mayo, okay?
yes. But we have my sister. She would put mustard on hers and the mayo. So.
What about ketchup? Did anybody use ketchup?
And my mother, she used the ketchup.
Okay.
My sister and I don't.
Really?
Well, that's
And
the.
so my son, he uses only ketchup. So we make homemade hamburgers at home.
That's right.
And this one's so special because I've never used the Lipton seasoning.
That's right.
Black pepper and that's a all-purpose seasoning. You said.
That's right.
Right. And so
The seasoned salt.
I've learned something.
That's right.
That's amazing how we do everything so different.
That's right.
And I love that. And that burger look good, but he takes this ketchup and dip the burger in the ketchup. That's all he does. He don't want no mustard,
Oh wow.
no
Yeah.
mayo. I like how everybody have their own individual thing.
Well, I'm gonna say this real quick about the burger too. My mother don't press it down, so that's why it's gonna stay kind of fluffy and thick.
Okay.
So what she does is kind of move it around and then make sure she look at it, make sure it's done. You kind of put a little split in the center and check it out and make sure.
I like that idea
okay.
because that way she's not squeezing out all the juices.
That's right. That's right. Because when you bite on it, you definitely will get that.
Okay, well, just finish putting it together for us.
Yes. And so once you put it there, you get the burger on that one end, and all you do is flip this here,
That is amazing.
flip it on there, and then you grab it on the side,
Now, let me tell you something.
and there you go.
You can almost have burger for business because this is some good looking
See how big, how tall that is? It's like a mountain sitting there.
Right, that thing look good.
Yes.
Oh, I
Yes.
love that. Now, did you practice cutting yours in half, or you like yours whole?
I've tried, when I was a child, I tried to open my mouth wide as possible, and I found the hard, so I had to keep smashing as much as I can and get in there. So, but yes.
Okay, guys, just imagine that awesome burger by Miss Beverly and with some wedge fries on the side. I cannot wait to try it at that table.
Yes.
Well, David, tell us about what you're doing, what you do for the community, who you are,
Yes.
how people can find you, follow you, support you. We want to definitely get that word out.
Yes. First of all, I'm running for the U.S. Congress. It's something I have to do for my son.
Absolutely.
You already know that I have my son. He's been missing for 3 years now. His name is geologist Daniel Robinson.
Yeah.
I've been out there searching for him for 3 years, and that in turn me to fall in love, fight hard. Excuse me, I didn't want to say fall in love, but fight hard for those missing Americans out there. I learned there was over 600,000 Americans go missing every year, 3,000 a day, 2,000 of which are children. So my passion is to make sure I'm doing everything I can to find not only just my son, but other Americans out there. So I have legislation that I would like to see passed, some that I'm creating myself, and I want to implement those. So the only way to do that is to run for Congress and get these things done. But also I am from Congressional District 2, my district, our district where we live. And, we have things that we have to fight for in our district, and that's proper representation of our community. So I'm here in that gap. My mother's proud of that. I'm proud to run for, and I serve this country. So again, I have another opportunity to do so. So that's what I'm here.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
But I have watched you search for your son over the last 3 years. I've also saw your passion,
Yes.
your caring, not, like for your son, but other people that's going through the same thing. I've watched you in different settings.
Yes.
Your podcast, your interview, I watched those. I've seen him on Dateline. I've seen him all over. And I know that he's passionate here about this particular subject because a lot of times we don't know.
That's right.
By you telling me that 600,000 people missed over a year,
Yes.
I just cannot fathom that.
Yes.
How many families that affect? How many of our communities that affect?
It does. And, it affects our marginalized communities as well. Out of the entire number of 600,000, we have 40% of the missing are people of color. Though Black people, we only make 13% of the population. So, we have to make sure we bring awareness to what's going on in the country. So that's what I do. I partner with a lot of people who are in the a little too hard, but a lot of people who are in the state and in the country itself. We have a lot of organizations that's out there fighting hard to help find missing Americans.
Well, I tell you one thing. I've noticed you're not sitting down.
I'm
not.
not.
You have been a voice for not only your son but others. That's what I love about you is that the fact that you're not selfish about it.
That's right.
I remember so well that when you guys were traveling back and forth to Vegas, right? No, don't have Oklahoma, no, in the desert.
Hey, now so you got me messing up Arizona.
Arizona. I know it was in the desert.
That's right,
I
Arizona.
You guys search for your son.
Yes.
I watched you guys stay out there for months.
Yes.
After months.
That's right.
I saw you challenge the police department.
Yes.
I've been watching for the last.
Well, we have to, when you see things not correct, you have to speak up. I took the advice of the late John Lewis. If you see something, you have to do something. You can't just sit idly still and don't say anything. So, of course, yes, we did work hard out there for 49 weeks of desert searching. We covered 35,000 acres of land out there. We was able to bring closure to a lot of families out there. So we put in a lot of work and time out there, but definitely still looking for my son. He's still missing. So I just implore everybody, if they have any information.
Tell us his name again.
Daniel Robinson, geologist Daniel Cornelius Robinson.
Right.
Yes.
And so tell us how we can follow you, how we can support you, what we can do as a community.
Well, for my son's sake, I have a website called PleaseHelpFindDaniel.com. You can visit PleaseHelpFindDaniel.com, join in the mail-in protest. It's one of the bigger things I have going is to keep my son's case out of the cold case status. Also, you can request flyers. The flyers are free, because it's important to get my son's story out there. And also, if anybody wants to email me directly for Daniel, you can go PleaseHelpFindDaniel@yahoo.com. PleaseHelpFindDaniel@yahoo.com. For my campaign, David Robinson for Congress, I'm definitely looking for volunteers to help because we have to get over this hill of, I have an incumbent who's been in office for 23 years, and it's not something easy to do, but we need to win the seat to have the proper representation, that including those families of marginalized communities who have missing loved ones. Some of the representation is not there for schools and you name it. I want to make sure that they get the proper representation.
That's so dear near to my heart. My son was missing. He was about 2 or 3 days, and we found out he was in the hospital.
Yes, so it's so scary.
That was very scary because I couldn't sleep for those 2 or 3 days, so I can't imagine what it's like as a parent. And a loved one that's missing. I just cannot.
Yes.
That's always my biggest fear because I have grands.
That's right.
I have children, And the one thing about it can be any of us. As a matter of fact, on the way today, coming to the podcast, it came across my phone on Google that there's a young man missing from Columbia. He's a Broadway.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw that story.
Well, it's a lot of stories come up, but no, I didn't catch that one yet, but I'm sure I will. We have people out there that's
when we on camera, I want to show you that. But I think he was 28 years old, and so they're trying to find him, and he's right here from Columbia. He was in Hamilton on Broadway, and just don't know where he's at. But I just want to thank you for joining us, and I can't wait to try this burger at the table.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. I've been honored for 2 reasons. One of them is because he's near dear to my heart, because he's one of my girlfriend's friend that we grew up together, her significant other, and the fact that he is running for a congressional seat number
2. Congressional seat 2. That's right.
Congressional seat number 2, to help us in all kind of avenues of finding our loved ones, already creating, laws and what you call those, not laws, but I guess they would be.
But yes, legislation to make changes for our country.
Yes.
Positive legislation. Right. That's right.
So please support David, and we're going to once again, how we can follow you and all that. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
I can't wait to taste these burgers.
That's right. Thank you so much.
See you at the table.
Thank you.
Welcome back. And we're sitting with David. Before we try your dish, what does food and family mean to you, David?
Well, food and family means a lot. Those combinations together. Does remind me of my childhood with my mother being a single parent, raising my sister and myself. With food is something that became very scarce for our family. We grew up in a poor home, but at the same time, my mother took everything she had and stretched it really far as possible.
I love it. Those burgers, you
yes.
those things. I'm telling you, and I can't wait to try it.
Yes.
So while I'm trying your dish, tell me what else you want the audience to know about you, how we can follow you, find you, anything you want to share. We'd love to hear that.
Yes, well, just speaking about the food itself, like I said, my mother taught me all the things of survival. Sometimes the way I look at food is the survival. When I became a single parent myself, I was a single parent of 4. And there's been times where, I had to pick up some of those things my mom taught me, how to cook a dish, how to cook beef stew and rice, and some of what I like to call today survival foods. It actually came true during my military experience when I had a hard time and had to go back into those basics. So those basics really helped me out in the future. Just things I remember as a child, my mom taught me along the way. So I've been happy about that, the foods and things like that.
And
Yes.
when you said stew beef and rice, I had to laugh because that's one of my other favorite to cook.
That's right.
It's a stew beef and rice, I tell you. So
Yes.
that just made me chuckle because I think about how important food and family is to us.
It is, yes.
And that's what I want to bring awareness to. That's what
right.
this podcast is all about.
Yes,
It's bringing awareness and bringing us back, putting us back to the simplicity of life.
that's right.
And also getting back in our own kitchens and enjoying our own food that our foremothers and forefathers said, have shared with us.
That's
Those
right.
are gifts,
It is.
and
Very much so.
thank you for joining us. So tell us how we can follow you and how we can support you.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
trying to piece of burger.
that's right. Thank you. Yes, well, for the campaign, for those who want to follow my campaign, I'm running for U.S. Congress. They can go to DavidRobinsonForCongress.com. That's DavidRobinsonForCongress.com. You can join the campaign. Definitely need your support. We definitely need to win in November. So
Yes,
November
we
5th
do.
is election. I tell everybody right now, please go out and vote. No matter if you vote for me or not, or what party you vote for, exercise your right. That is something we are born with in this country. We definitely have to exercise our right to vote. So that's very, very big. Also, I have another part of my life that's very important, and the reason why I'm running is also my missing son.
Yes.
Of course, I spoke about him before. Geologist Daniel Robinson that went missing. Definitely still looking for him. It's been 3 years now, but anybody want help with that, they can go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com, join the mail-in protest, and also get those flyers out there for me.
And like I said, you've had boots on the ground.
Yes,
I have
That's
watched you. I have watched
yes,
a lot of the interviews. I've watched you when you was in that desert. I keep that
Arizona.
Arizona.
That's
that
right.
desert, you know.
That's right.
And so you haven't been dependent on other people. You have been out there doing the work.
That's right.
And
That's
for
right.
that, I'm grateful. And for that, I am honored because, a lot of us talk, but we don't do any work.
That's right. Faith.
So, and you've been faithful.
That's right.
I mean, faithful to your son, but not only to your son, you've been faithful to other people.
You have to be.
Yes, and I've seen you travel kind of like all over this country. I've watched you. I've followed
Yes.
you. I believe in what you're doing. I just think it's amazing.
Thank you.
And I thank you. I've seen you one time where you was in a part of Florida, and you met with some of the other parents that have children have been in the highlight, they've been out there,
Well, on that national stage,
the
yes.
Petito, I think
The Petito family,
yeah,
that's right.
the
Yes.
Petito family, when their daughter became missing and was killed by her boyfriend,
Right,
in
yes.
Was it in the desert too, or in the mountains?
Well, there was somewhere in out west. I can't remember which state
Right.
it was, but yes, I know those desert areas
Wow.
where she ended up going missing. Right.
So you have met a lot of other parents and befriended them, have
That's
become
right.
great friends with
That's right. I meet a lot of families out there and try to help as much as I can everywhere I can.
Yes, well,
Yes.
thank you for that, because we need more people like you in the community,
That's right.
and we support you. We support
Thank you so much.
for that seat, the congressional seat 22.
Yes.
Did I get it right?
No, Congressional District 2. That's right.
Good.
Congressional District 2.
Two.
That's right.
Vote David Robson.
Dave Robinson.
Yeah, and he's in it for us as a community and us as, missing children and other important elements of running politically.
That's right. That's
I
right.
think that you're an amazing guy, and
Thank you.
I don't thank you for being a part of At the Table with Chef Jay. And so we'll follow David, and please, whatever you can do, support and help. If it ain't but a word to say, thank you for being so awesome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
That wraps up another episode of At the Table with Chef Jay. I hope you enjoyed this journey through the flavors and memories as much as I did. But before we say goodbye, don't forget to show some love, hit the like button, share the joy with your friends and family. And of course, please, we ask that you subscribe. To help us get the message out, we need you to hit that subscribe button. Thank you for joining us.